two weekly whinges, right?
Oh,
So, because I got feedback from my wife that the weekly whinges weren't whingy enough, right?
right.
So, weekly whinge number one, right, is people's reactions to mainstream media news, right?
Right.
So, Donald Trump or Vladimir Putin's picture is on something, and then the comments underneath World War III conscription, you will be called up, right? Everybody in the world needs to realise, right, that this shit's never going to happen, right? If it does, it's going to be over within a matter of seconds,
Before we
right?
know it.
Before we even know about it, while we're in bed, right? However, if it does, all of the target group, which I'm assuming is going to be about 16 to maybe 30, right? You need to sort your shit out, people, because you ain't fit. So that's weekly wins number one, right?
Right.
There isn't any, and we need to be a little bit more join the masculine society.
Can I ask you a question on that?
Yeah.
So, right, do you think our 18 to 30s fighting aged males and women and etc.
Yeah.
are the same standard of Russia's fighting 18 to 30s male and women?
No,
There's a difference in culture.
I think there's a massive difference in culture, and I think it's a huge impact by a number of things, but predominantly kind of DE&I agendas. So, what does that mean? So, in the Western world, we have been fed lots of narratives that we need to be and do a certain thing. I think we've been masculized
Yeah, yeah.
to an extent. And I think that's playing through. Not everybody. Look, I was out on Saturday night to a 21st birthday party, and there was some proper lads in there. Do you know what I mean?
I was meant to go, but I was away.
But then equally, it was a good night. It was a good night. I mean, we ended up going for dinner afterwards. But there are a lot of people that don't leave the house and play on the computer and don't have sports and don't have life outside of a screen or a social media enterprise. And that concerns me.
I think I was the last of the generations that where Xboxes and PlayStations started to come in.
Yeah.
And I was always like, there was no way was I allowed to stay in the house on a sunny day. It was
No,
like,
no
you're
chance.
out.
No chance. But absolute. I mean, we didn't even have them, right? I had an Atari 2600, mate, that you plugged a cartridge into the top of, and then it loaded Space Invaders, right? And you played on that. That was it. And then I had a Commodore 64 where you used to have to put a tape in. You used to have to wait about 45 minutes to play a game called Paperboy, which was shit up, by the way. But essentially, you just went down the street shotting papers out.
Yeah.
That was it. And then the Sega Mega Drive came in, and I got one of them, but nobody could afford the games. The games were like 40, 50 quid. If you go back to the early 90s, mid 90s, mate, nobody had a spare 40, 50 bar knocking about to get.
Like 250 quid now. There.
Yeah, well, in real time, yeah, in real time increases. So I think it's very, very concerning. Bear with me, Amelia's just come back.
Not you, bro. Oh, look at the dog.
And then yeah, that's that does concern me, and I think looking at the youth of today, they just need to get a little bit of gumption. If conscription is a thing, but it's absolutely not, because we'll also blow up in a nuclear event before that happens.
Did you know, right, the mass amount of kids, and I say kids, under 21s, who are depressed, diagnosed depressed due to their life is through virtual friendships.
Yeah, mate, it's worse for girls. So it's worse for girls, right? So girls, so at the advent of Instagram, so 2013 to 2014, in the US had a 500% uptick in female suicide. And that was to do with Instagram, selfie filters. Oh, sorry, that's what a lot of people are tying it back to, right?
Yeah.
So there's a guy called Jonathan Haidt who's done a HADT, I think it's called. He's done a whole bunch of analysis on this, and it's really, really, really powerful how it all ties back to this specific timeline. And it wasn't so much Instagram, it was selfies. It was the selfie filter.
Yeah.
That's when I think they've tied it back to. So there's him, and then there's a girl called Freya India, who's an English girl who's just been on Chris Williamson's podcast. All of her stuff, if anybody's concerned specifically about their daughters and this teenage years that we find ourselves in, which is remarkable periods of time, then those two people are great persons of interest to understand their insight. So yeah,
I'll get them details off you, and I'll link them in the post, mate. Might be
yeah.
who's interested.
No, they're good. They're very, very, very good. Jonathan Haidt's book's unreal. But yeah, so it does concern me that we are going to war with a bunch of people who play on COD or whatever. I don't even know what COD is, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I was going to say they don't respawn, but you might not know what that means.
I don't know what that. Definitely don't know what that means, brother. I don't know what that means.
Give me a second one.
So that's Whinge 1, right? So Whinge 2, right? I've come across it last week and I've told you about it already, right? So I'm just going to read you the headlines, right? So Amazon forest felled to build road for climate summit, right? So I'm pretty sure everybody knows what felled means, but if you don't, it means chopping trees down, right? So if we just go back to like a bit of biology, right? So trees, the Amazon tend to filter out carbon dioxide and put oxygen back in the air. Obviously, the biodiversity that's in the plant life system, all that kind of good stuff, the ecology and all that. And look, mate, I ain't some sort of like Greenpeace activist here, right? But Amazon forest fell to build road for climate summit, and I'm thinking, nah, it must just be like a little road on the corner of it, just to, because maybe the city's too built up, and there's all these high rises and favelas, because that's what they call them out there, the slums and stuff like that. So I think they're just cutting a little chunk off the side, right? That's all they're doing, right? So you read into the article from Ione Wells. So in Belém, Brazil, a new 4-lane highway cutting through tens of thousands of acres of protected Amazon rainforest is being built for the COP30 climate summit in the Brazilian city of Belém.
Right.
This is one of them like stop the world. I need to get off, man, because like I'm just not feeling the vibe with that.
This comes back to, right, and
highway, mate.
Yeah, I strongly believe, right, the people who run countries or organisations or who are on boards like that should be people like you and I, just people who go to work, because to them, this means they've probably just gone, oh yeah, we'll chop down a couple of trees, we'll get 4 lanes in, and they don't actually have a Scooby what the real life world is like. It blows my brains, mate, that we have some people running this country, running the world, and they're so out of touch with what the world fucking is. How the fuck?
That's the problem, bro. I mean, look, if you look at these MPs, if you look at Keir Starmer and his band of merry little men, and even in the divvies in the Tory party, right? How many of them have actually had a job beforehand? A meaningful job, right? I mean, arguably Trump has run a few businesses, right? Some of his businesses have been successful, some haven't. But he knows the logic around like a capital engagement model.
Yeah.
build, sell, earn money, profit, put it back into the circus, and you just get this cyclical thing where stuff grows. These people haven't got a clue what they're doing.
It is actually terrifying, mate. I just seen today, and don't get me wrong, I don't know whether I should touch on it or not. I'm going to be very, very, very close to the line today. I can feel it. But I don't know if you've seen the notification come through on the news about disability allowances getting absolutely frozen and this, that, and the other. And that is a massive case of the minority ruining it for the majority.
Yeah.
And I look and I just think, I personally am quite happy paying the council tax or my taxes, my national insurances that I'm paying. Right. I think there is a fundamental issue within government that the money that they accumulate in this country from everyone, they can't issue it and have money left over. Where the fuck does all that money go?
If you work out, right, how many taxpayers there are in this country, right, and then you take the national average salary, which is about 30 bags now, is that something like that?
Yeah.
And then you figure out that tax bill is probably about, I don't know, is it £1,000, 900 quid maybe? I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Times that by the billions of people that are paid. Where does it go, bro?
Well, there's 500,000 just in Teesside.
Yeah.
Just in Teesside. So that's your 4 wards, your 4 local authorities. Redcar, Cleveland, Stockton, Middlesbrough.
I mean, council tax. I mean, I've got a bit of beef with the council tax, mate, if I'm honest with you, right? So we're going to fortnightly bin collection. And they've just taken away our green waste bin. Not that we had one, right? You had a green shitty sack that you had to fill up. Yeah. They're now not taking that, right? Sound all right, yeah? Or you can pay a little bit extra, you can just squeeze it in your wheelie bin, jobs are good. Now we're going to fortnightly, right? I recycle. I'm a big recycler, me. I've got 2 recycle bags that are full every fortnight.
There's no point because the Amazon's getting cut down.
Well, exactly. And China's not going to accept it anymore because they're not making plastic toys anymore. So where's that going to go, right? And then on top of that, right, you think, oh yeah, sound, we'll get the green bit cut and stuff like that. Because I'm on a new estate, we all have to pay a surcharge. We all pay 15 quid a month. Every new estate that's been built in the last 10 years or something, you get an estate fee. So mine's like 200 quid a year. So I pay it monthly, and the guys come round and cut all the green belt, and they don't cut your grass, but they do all the other bits and bobs and sort the trees out and stuff. So council don't do that anymore.
Don't they?
No.
So which person's getting the fruits of that labour? By the way, that sounds like a back pocket job if I've ever heard one.
If I've ever heard one. But this is a legitimate thing now. There's this massive company called Clover or something like that. They've got all the new estates in the area. And they just send a couple of kids round with a bit of a lawnmower and they cut the grass and they do one. They get the subs off everybody. So why I'm paying like 293 quid a month council tax is beyond me, mate.
I know. What are you actually getting for that apart from less bin collection? And I mean, if they cut your grass, I'd probably be like, all right, yeah. But they're not going to cut your fuck grass.
Right, what's your whinge about? I feel like I've whinged a bit there.
Right. So, my whinge, and this is close to the line, this. And we're not going to delve too deep. We're just going to say it as it is. I heard the other day a very important female in my life say that she will not go for walks, for steps, and she will not go jogging when the sun goes down, when it's dark at night. And I was like, oh, why is that? Is it because it's cold? Because she's actually scared that someone might attack her or etc., etc. Now, I think it is absolutely fucking mental, and that's me swearing. It's actually really annoyed me that half of the population of the UK, and not all females will probably feel that way, but the vast majority will, don't feel safe going for a walk or a run on a night. Like,
I'm not surprised, mate. I'm not surprised. I know, I can see that you're a bit shocked by this fact, but I'm not surprised.
I've never even thought about it. I literally will just go around the barrage for a run, for a walk, and my steps.
This
Never
is
even
this
thought.
is male privilege. This is proper male privilege. What we've got here. This is male privilege. Being able to do that, right? All the other shit that we get plumbed with male privilege. Some of it's questionable, some of it's true, but this is proper male privilege. I know a lot of women who won't do that.
Well, I just want to plead with everyone. Mainly, I mean, there's probably women who are attacking women when they go for runs. It's not just men. But
Yeah,
stop being weird, fucks.
I know, but I think it's nine times out of 10 it's men, like, bro.
Yeah.
Well, other women are like fucking having a cup of tea and watching EastEnders and stuff like that. But
Just stop being weird. Let's. I don't know. I just think it's bang out of order, mate, that people are made to feel that way. It's absolutely
horrible, isn't it?
on my mind. But
I mean, obviously, I've got a dad. I'm a dad with 3 girls, 2 girls, whatever, however many you want to call it. But it's like, yeah, you worry about shit like that, bro.
and I just think,
Even in the daylight, to be fair.
yeah, 2025. I
Especially,
think what the
I
hell
mean,
is
especially going into Stockton. Even if Sarah goes into Stockton, I'm like, keep your wits about you.
how wrong's that though?
Wrong, wrong. But it's the life we live, mate.
That's my whinge anyway. It's going to be short. It's going to be sweet, but it's really got under my skin this week.
Yeah, and it is a big thing. It is a big thing. Yeah, and stuff even happens in the daylight, mate. To these girls, bless them.
Yeah, frustrating. Anyway, I wanted to move on to the fact that we have got shed loads of people who want to be on our podcast, mate.
Mate, let's roll. Let's do it, bro. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm excited. You know how those are my favourite Sundays then. And I don't even have a drink on a Saturday night because I'm not excited for them the next day, mate.
It's good therapy. Like, I walked away from that session with Luke. Obviously, I'm editing it at the minute, and I'm just waiting on him sending me some stuff through. So, Luke, if you're watching this, hurry up.
A special message.
Literally, when I edited them, mate, I watched them over and over and over.
No, I know.
They do them in 10-minute blocks, and like the one with Ben, to be fair, I actually really enjoyed doing it.
Yeah.
And this one with Luke, just some of the stuff, some of the conversations we had. I mean, both of us, obviously, you haven't seen it back because I'll send you over first when I've edited it. But there's a point in it, mate, where we get to around about 40 minutes of conversation, and Luke starts talking about being reinstitutionalized into society from his 27-month cycle, like with his 5 pals. That's a little spoiler for everyone. And like, I mean, I'm still pulling faces now at how absolutely outstanding effort that is, by the way.
I was blown away by it. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. You were like, I wish people could see our faces as well as your face while we talked about this.
Oh, mate, honestly. And like, I think was he 21 or something?
Yeah.
And I remember just saying, like, I was happy if I put on a fresh pair of pants in the morning at 20. And this lad's mooching about about the world.
About the world, mate. About the world.
Yeah, but there's a point at like 40 minutes where I can see, well, the conversation takes a different direction. And we start to like question ourselves. We start to question, well, what am I doing that's outstanding and outrageous?
What am I doing that's exciting?
So it's just like,
I think that's where we concluded on, wasn't it?
yeah, it was like shaking hands, walking away from it thinking, oh God, yeah, I need to do something here. But yeah, so I'm mega excited for people to see that because I think it'll inspire them as well. Well, it will.
Yeah, without mate, nobody can tell us that they watched that and they don't feel inspired. I watched it back the next day because obviously I had the bit on my phone.
Yeah.
So I uploaded it to my computer and I watched it, but it was only Luke. So I could only see the visual on Luke. And I sat and watched it and I was like, wow, but this is going to be great.
He needs to document all the things he's done and all the things he's going to do moving forward.
He needs to. Well, that's what he was saying. Isn't there? Some divvy's done a Netflix documentary. It's like half a job of what they got up to, kind of thing.
I know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping and praying. I mean, I'm back to work tomorrow, and I'm on 6 days on 12-hour shifts. But I'm hoping and praying I can get them over, and then one night I'll just edit them last little bits, I put markers in so I know where they need to go, and then we can fire it out and everyone can be inspired. But good news on, well, I say episode 2 because it was technically episode 2, and this is probably going to be episode 6 or something, I think. Episode 2's numbers, mate. That has blown my brains out. People have spent 120, I looked this morning, 132 hours listening to us boring fuckers.
Mate, that's unreal. It's unreal. I've never wanted to know the numbers because, like, once I hear a number once, I'm like, right, we need to do better next time.
Yeah.
So, and I think what we need to get in our head is some people are going to be massively well received, and some people are going to be well received. And I don't mean to discredit anybody that's going to come on. I think we've got a plan for a couple of niche people, perhaps, that might not float everybody's boat, but I think it's important for their conversations to be had.
Gimbal just gone for a little sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got you there anyway. There we go.
He's just having a little. It's the first time he's ever done that. He must be running out of batteries. He's definitely run out of batteries, isn't he?
Like me after a couple of slurps, mate.
He's definitely running out of batteries, bro.
I can still see you.
Let's do. This is awkward, isn't it? There we go. Right, how long is he going to stay awake for? Let me see if I can get a charge in. Obviously, this won't be the right charger for him. So potential people that are not going to be everybody's bag, but I would encourage them to listen to them, right? So what I used to do when I first started getting into podcasts was I would just put the person on. I wouldn't want to understand who they are, what the backstory is, what they've done, or anything, right? And I learned so much, more, predominantly off Modern Wisdom, Chris Williamson, predominantly off that. I think I started off on his 290th episode or something, and I went all the way through till probably about a year ago, solid every day. I never missed an episode. And I turned one off, and the one I turned off was some horrifically annoying American lady, and I don't know whether I had a bit of a hangover or whatever, but I couldn't deal with her accent at 6 o'clock in the morning when I'm cutting around the yard with the dog. But I've learned so much from that, and it's sparked new interests, and I think that's why I'm keen to get certainly the person, both of the next people, right?
Call them by the first names.
Well, I know what is the lad, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm super, because I haven't got a clue, right, about any of that stuff, and that's what I want to learn about.
Yeah.
And the girl, I think I'm just going to be in tears, if I'm honest with you. But I'm contemplating buying a book beforehand, and then spoiler alert, I'm contemplating buying a book beforehand and reading it, and then I'm thinking, don't go into it raw, and then just let your emotions play out on the day.
Yeah. So I know a little bit about the book scenario. Right. My mum's read the book. Obviously, I'm close with her, and she's told me. And I am really, really excited about that one because I think it's a different demographic that's going to help. And ultimately, this is all about helping people. And if someone else is going through that situation, find solace in that there is light on the end of the tunnel if they are still going through it, for example.
Yeah.
And the lad, I actually experienced one of his workshops.
All right.
When I tell you, Paul, it was insane. It was insane. And I generally am. I mean, we spoke, and I've spoke to him actually about me, yourself, your partner, and my partner, doing a session.
I told Sarah, and she was like, "What the fuck am I doing that for?" I'm like, trust me, bro, trust me.
Honestly, mate, like there was a point when we were doing something. I don't want to delve too much, but it was like a natural high. I was hallucinating.
Yeah.
A part of it. So we need to go in there. We need to experience one of them before we do his. Because
Oh, really?
yeah, we need to experience it, mate. It is
Okay.
surreal. It's strange as shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I
Yeah.
was a bit like, nah, it's not a bit of me, this. And then I was sat there doing this exercise he wanted us to do. And I was like, this is mental. So yeah, we're gonna have to experience it. But we've got the calendar set up now. I'm gonna start shotting some bits and bobs in there so we can amalgamate.
We're getting professional here, bro.
I know, mate. There's so many moving parts now. But yeah, lots to look forward to. Lots to look forward to.
Definitely, definitely. So where's your head at? Are we gonna do? Are we going? Obviously, we're gonna do the girl next. And
So I'd quite like to do her next. The reason for that is,
the lady. Sorry.
yeah, I would like to do the lady next. She probably wouldn't. Yeah. Just because I think the demographic of it, I think the message that she's got is going to really, really help some people. And I'd like to get that out and get people so they can hear what she's got to say. And the reason I want to do her next is because I also want to go do a workshop with that other guy, yourself, Sarah, and our lass. So,
our lass.
You
nearly said her name there, didn't you, Kim? Nearly said her name.
Top secret.
Yeah, defo. That sounds like a plan. I think we're getting that workshop nailed down is probably needs to be done because we've got we're coming up with bank holiday season. Give me 2 seconds. You cannot put that hoodie on to go out. It's filthy. Please go and change it. I'm doing a podcast. I'm not arguing with you. Please. That might work. Yeah. So I am really interested in doing that. So I don't know how that'll work, where we'll do it or whatever. And
yeah, it's at his place. He's got like a place, I think.
Right.
But I'm gonna get some more details on it, mate. Like I said, I'm back at work tomorrow. But I'm gonna delve into trying to organise these people in. I need to look up my work schedule. I'm meant to be on a course in Lincoln, so at some point I just need to get my head around it all. Obviously, the house is going up for sale. I've been messing about with all that. Just head's been exploding at the minute.
No, I know, mate. I know. It is what it is. We'll get there in the end, bud. No rush. Rome wasn't built in a day.
It wasn't, brother. It wasn't. But we've got some good things to look forward to.
We have indeed.
Yeah. Well,
we have indeed, brother. We have indeed.
Well, it's really sunny outside, and I've
got to go to the gym.
Oh yeah.
I've done my steps. I'm on 14,000.
Oof, good effort. Good effort. Yeah. I've got a leg day in today, to be fair. I was going to go at 5 and I've just realised it's going to be absolutely rammed. So I might go to one gym instead a little bit later on when it's...
you might be surprised with the sun's out, guns out, people won't turn up, will they?
Maybe. So I'll drive past here with the car parks like, and then I'll just go
straight. Just go drive straight to one gym.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Right, brother. Always lovely to catch you up.
Pleasure.
We'll get them bits and bobs booked in, but lots to look forward to. Lots and lots.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely, totally agree. Right, have a good one. Go and enjoy the sun, and I will speak to you soon, no doubt.
Sweet. Lots of love.
Enjoy. All right, brother.